Oh, my toesies are tingling. I do not like that feeling. Hello. I think today we are finally going to do my reading wrap up for January and February. Yes, I know it's the beginning of April. I'm slightly behind. I don't know what happened other than life got busy. I also finished organizing my books. We have shelves now. I am obsessed with them. I do have bookshelf organizational videos coming. However, it's going to be in multiple parts. They're a few hours long. Like, there's multiple hours of content. I'm going to try to condense it down as much as I can. I also will not make you guys wait each week for each part. I'm going to like just post them all at once. So once everything's edited, then I'm going to post them. So it's going to take me a while. I've been procrastinating. I need to do that for you guys because everybody wanted to see organizational videos. It is literally my thought process from start to finish of what my shelves looked like at the time. Now, the shelves behind me, I don't think changed very much. I think this one changed just a little bit. But other than that, nothing else changed really on these behind me. This is probably where I'm going to film the most because these are a lot of my favorites. Like, we have my Tate James just all across in the middle. We have my Zodiac. We have Zodiac over here. We have Elsie Silver. We've got my Boys of Tommen. And we have Sarah Kate. And down here at the bottom, we have Rena Kent. Rena Kent is also in the special editions in the corner back here. And then down here we have the Rituals right there. We have the Ritual and the Shantia Tessier books I have. And then in the corner over here on this side, we have Sierra Simone. So lots of my favorites are in this little corner, this little section. So this will probably be where I film a lot of the time. But I don't want to neglect the other parts of my shelves. So first I'm going to film this, get this edited, get this posted, and then in the next couple of weeks I will finish editing all of my YouTube videos for the bookshelf organizational stuff and get that all posted in a couple weeks. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to make y'all not wait that long. I'm gonna try to crack down once this is edited and posted. I'm gonna try my hardest to get that posted as soon as possible. But we will see. I make no promises. I will try to not procrastinate that much. But we will see. Alas, I think I need more water. Fun fact, this is all I've drank today. I have not had any soda yet today. It's also like 6 o'clock at night and I've had no soda. So I might have a soda because I feel a migraine coming on. If I don't have at least one soda, I get a caffeine migraine and those are not fun. So might have a soda. I do already have the books off the shelves. So let me go get a soda. Let me refill my water and then we will get into this reading wrap up for January and I almost said March. That's not the right order of months. January and February. Okay, I think we are just gonna... Oh, I love that sound. I think we're just gonna start with January. That seems like the logical thing to do here. Oh, that first sip of Dr. Pepper a day just hits your soul differently. I can't explain it. If you're not a Dr. Pepper lover, you're missing out. Hits the spot every single time. Oh, that's so good. Now, I'm gonna try to only drink that one today, so we will see how this goes. But I do have all of the books right here, and I do also have my little, let me find them real quickly. Let's see, gallery. I keep like a little template that I do over on Bookstagram, so I have that with me as well. Just because I don't know what I rated all of these books. I don't really have like a rating system. I know on Bookstagram it says that I do. I don't really follow that as much anymore. However, I'm reading for vibes. It's vibes and in the moment. And if I'm liking it, it's probably going to be a higher read for me. If I'm loving it, it's going to be a 5-star. Like, there's just no way around that. If it's a book that I'm not liking as much or I don't care as much for, that's when you'll see it be like 3. I rarely ever give 2 stars, and I think I've only given 1 star once. I like to read books that I know I'm going to like, so a lot of my books are rated very highly. So keep that in mind. This is just my opinion. As Larry would say, that's my opinion! I love her. So we're going to go ahead and just get right into the January books. Now, like I said, 3 stars are books I personally did not really care for. I started the year off, because I didn't finish it before the end of the year in 2024. I started 2025 off reading Live and Let Lionel. Lionel Acrux. Trying to think of a strong enough word, because saying I hate this book character doesn't do it justice. Like, that doesn't wrap it up enough. Like, I loathe this book character. I despise him. Like, he is one of the worst book characters I think I've ever read about in any book that I've ever read in existence. Like, I hated being in this character's mind. I did read it in like a day or 2 days, I think. It was a very quick and easy read, especially when you have the audiobook. I did the immersive reading. I read along while I listened to it. I'm just so happy it's over. Yes, I am still reading Zodiac 9. I don't want it to end. I don't have an excuse other than that. But yeah, I read Live and Let Lionel. I gave it 3 stars. Was not my favorite of the Zodiac world. Then, these are not going to necessarily be in order, because I only have 3 of them. This is not how I read them, but the books for the Ice Planet Barbarians that I read in January was Barbarian's Touch, which I think, which one is this? Is this like 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is 7. Wait, I just counted. My brain. Because there's Ice Planet Barbarians, there's Barbarian Alien, Barbarian Lover, Barbarian Mind, Barbarian Prize, and Barbarian Mate, and then we have Barbarian Touch. So I think this is 7. So I read 7, 8, which is Barbarian's Taming, and 9, which is Barbarian's Heart. So I read 7, 8, 9. I read Barbarian's Hope, Barbarian's Choice, and Barbarian's Redemption. So 10, 11, and 12. So I read a lot of the Ice Planet Barbarian books in January. They were available on Hoopla. I borrowed the audiobooks from there. I am buying them as they come out because I do really enjoy the series, surprisingly. I remember reading the first one and I was like, oh, this is not just alien smut. Like, I expected there to be absolutely no plot, just smut. There's actually surprisingly a plot to all of the books. And they because there's so many in the series, you would think that they would repeat. It's not the same. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole series as a whole. Let me move this over so I can see better. So, Barbarian's Touch, I gave 4.5 stars. This was actually one of my favorites of the series that I remember really liking. There was just something about, I think her name is Lila, I think is how you pronounce it. I really liked the characters, and her alien was amazing. That is a sentence I never thought I would say, but it's come out of my mouth, so I'm gonna rock with it. Barbarian's Taming, I gave, what does that say? I also give this one 4.5 stars. Who was this one about? My brain. See, y'all, I read this months ago. I need to do these wrap-ups after the months that I read them in, because I legit cannot. Oh, it's Hassan and what was it, Maddie, I think? Maddie? Is it Maddie? Maddie. I loved Maddie. I don't know what it was about Maddie. I just fucking loved her, okay? And Hassan was great too. Not my favorite of the aliens, but I did really like Hassan. And then Barbarian's Heart, I gave 4.25 stars. I liked it, but not as much as the other two. I don't think I gave any of the Ice Planet Barbarians 5 stars. And then I'll put pictures on the screens for the other ones. Barbarian's Hope, I gave 4 stars. Barbarian's Choice, I gave 4 stars. And then Barbarian's Redemption, I gave 3.75 stars. Was not my fave. Then I started the Pucking Wrong series, so I read The Pucking Wrong Number. I love this book. One thing to note about me, if there is a hockey romance, I'm gonna eat it up. And especially when it's a series about friends, like at the same friend group. Honestly, I love both of these so much, but there's just something about Lincoln Daniels. I will never get over him. Let me make sure that is his name. Yes, Lincoln, and then Monroe was also really amazing. I just loved this whole... Excuse me, I don't know if that was a hiccup or a burp, but it kind of hurt. Excuse me. I loved this book. Everybody that I have talked to about it since I have read it, I have told them that this is a highly recommended hockey book. I think it's got a little bit of a darker element into it, so I don't think it's just a sports romance. I do say check it out. I personally loved it. I think I rated it 4 stars, but that's not right. I would honestly rate this a 5. This would be a 5-star read for me. Like, I loved this book. I definitely didn't like it less than the Ice Planet Barbarian book, so this should be a 5-star read. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was being really critical when I rated it. I don't know, but according to my Instagram, I gave it 4 stars. It should be 5 stars. This was 100% a 5-star read for me. The second book in the series is The Pucking Wrong Guy. This one I gave 4.25 stars, and I would stick with that, okay? I do really like it. I know this one is his best friend, and he moves to a different team for a little bit, and it's to get Ari. No, Ari is her name. It's Ari moves to get Blake, and it's a whole thing. They knew each other when they were kids. Loved them. 100% would recommend this whole series. And then I had the fortunate / unfortunate decision. I had made the unfortunate and fortunate decision to reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. These are the UK versions. I didn't feel like getting one of the special editions off of the shelf behind me here. Actually, I think they're above. They're like the next shelf up. I have a whole bunch of Fourth Wing up there. I could not be bothered to grab them down, so I just grabbed these because they were the easiest ones. Still 5-star reads. I love them both. I read these in preparation for Onyx Storm. I still love them. Okay, look. Reliving Liam's death. Sorry, slight spoiler if you haven't read it yet. But rereading Liam's death, I still cried. I didn't think I would because I've read it a couple times. No, I still cried. And then also the throne scene is still superior. I fucking love that scene. It will always live rent-free in my head, 100%. I don't think anything will top it, honestly, at this point. Like, nothing else is compared. With that being said, that's all I read in January. I did not read that much. I was also moving. I built my library. I started the reorganizational process. I had to work in the office. I set my desk up. We built furniture. We went furniture shopping. Like, we did a lot in January. January was a little bit of a shorter reading month for me. So I read, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I read 11 books in January. So not too bad all in all. I think that is definitely going to be one of my shorter months of the year because I do typically read a lot because I can listen to audiobooks while I read. And you will see that in February. Now, I will say, I know I kind of just gave a disclaimer, but another disclaimer. I read a lot of audiobooks in the month of February. I was able to lock in. I focused. I read all of these. Most of these I read while I was working because in February we were slowly getting done with training. And so it was kind of like, oh, this is what we're doing. Go and work cases after we were done with like a certain part of the day. So like most of the day we were just working cases, pulling cases and working cases. I would do like a data entry thing for an insurance company. That is all I'm going to say. Please do not ask me where I work. I do not post it on the internet. However, with that being said, I have the capability of listening to music and or reading while I am working. So I listen to audiobooks majority of the time. There are some times where I prefer music over a book, but usually it's a book. So in February, I read the rest of the Ice Planet Barbarians series. I'll put pictures on the screen as I say these. Barbarians Lady, I gave 4 stars. Barbarians Rescue, I gave 3.5 stars. Barbarians Tease, I gave 4 stars. Barbarians Beloved, I gave 3 stars. Barbarian Seduction and Barbarian's Treasure, I gave 4 stars. And then the very last book in the series, Barbarian's Bride, I gave 3.75 stars. Honestly, if you are looking for quick, fun, easy escapism reads, I would recommend the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I know it's not going to be for everybody. You know, not everybody wants to read giant, alien, slightly smut, slightly plot. Like, there is an actual plot to the series. It's not just smut. Like, I loved the series as a whole. I think I would overall give the whole series like a 4-star rating, but there's also like 20 something books I think in the series. So we're close to 20 or 15 or 20. It's something like that. Like, there's a lot of books in this series and I've read them all between, I think I started my Ice Planet Barbarian journey a little over 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. It's been, I don't know, it's been a while since, oh, excuse me. I started reading it a while ago and then I stopped reading it, but all of them were available on Hoopla, so I just borrowed the audiobooks and listened to them while I was reading, or listened to them while I was working. Very quick and easy reads. Cannot recommend them enough. I liked them. I will probably reread them again at some point. Even though there's like 15 to 20 books, I would still reread. Now, with that being said, taking a complete twist, I think one of the books I read at the beginning of February, again, I don't know exactly when I read these, I read, I cannot see the author's name. I don't have the book physically. Sugar Daddies by Jade West. I'll put a picture for the books I don't physically own. I gave that one 4 stars out of 5. 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I am a sucker for, I don't really want to call it a daddy trope, but for some reason I just like it when the female calls the guy. I don't know. Okay, I like the daddy trope, whether he's an actual dad or he's just like a daddy, you know, like whether he's a daddy or a daddy. Spicy readers understand that very, very well. If you're not a spicy reader, that probably made no sense and I probably sound crazy, but I digress. It's called Sugar Daddies. There's 2 of them, so they're like a little throuple. I really liked the progression of the relationship. I will say that. I don't think it was a perfect read for me. There were some things that irked me at the time that I was reading it. However, it's been 2 months since I've read it, so I cannot tell you what those things are in the moment. I have notes. I'd have to like go back and find my notes, or like go back and reread it to tell you exactly what I personally didn't like. But with that being said, I would recommend it. I did really enjoy it. It was a good read. The spice was good from what I remember. I would recommend. One of my best friends actually read it, and I didn't know she read it. So when I told her I was reading it, she was like, oh my god, I love that book. And I was like, wait, you've read it? We have not talked about this. So we had a whole conversation about it. Now, the first book I read off of my TBR, technically off my TBR, because at the time I read it, I didn't own the book. But I knew I was buying it, so technically it counts as a book that came off of my physical TBR. I'm trying to read more of my physical TBR this year. March doesn't count. I bought a lot of books because it was my birthday, but February I did pretty good about taking books off of my physical TBR. Every book I'm going to show you physically at some point was on my TBR except for the rereads. But the first one that come off of my TBR is Scythe and Sparrow. I loved this book. What is his name? Is this Fionn? I love Fionn. I don't know what it is about his book. He was just, don't get me wrong, I love Lachlan, and I love, oh my god, what is the other one? I cannot think of the other. I cannot think of the other brother's name. Anyways, Fionn is my favorite. Lachlan would probably be my second favorite. For some reason, I cannot think of the third. Kane brother. Kane brother. I don't know why I'm gonna find it after this video and be like, oh my god, how did I forget that? But I really liked both characters. I would say of all of the girls, I think Lark is my favorite, and Fionn is my favorite from the guys. I gave this a 5-star, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was a 5-star read. I devoured this. Last year I read Leather and Lark and Butcher and Blackbird. This year I just read Scythe and Sparrow because it wasn't too long ago that I read the first 2. I loved it. It was a perfect conclusion to the series in my opinion. Cannot recommend it enough, especially if you like dark comedy romance, which those don't sound like they should go together, but Brynne Weaver does an amazing job at making her like dark romance, like the, what is it, Reunious Love or whatever the trilogy is called. She does an amazing job at making like the dark romance also kind of funny, and then the plot is great and the spice is good. So all around, I love these books. Then I finished the rest of the Pucking Wrong series. So I actually read these in the wrong order, kind of, sort of. So I read 1 and 2 in January. Then in February, I read book 4 and book 5. That math don't math. I read book 3 and book 4, right? Hold on. No, 3 and 4. Okay, so Pucking Wrong Date is 3, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I loved it. It was great. Pucking Wrong Man is book 4, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Now, I know there's one more coming out, and I am so excited for that book. I don't think he'll beat Lincoln from book 1, but I'm very excited. I am loving the series. It's great. Now, what do I mean by I read it in the wrong order? There's a novella, a Christmas novella that is supposed to be read after book 2. I have all of the books. I did not realize this was a 2.5 technically, so I read this after I read book 4. But with it being a novella, I did give it 3 stars. Usually novellas for me are very hard to get above 3 stars because I usually want more. I want more detail. I want more sex. What? That was, yeah. No, that's true. I want more spicy scenes. I want more character. I want more development. I want more of everything. So usually novellas are not very highly rated for me. So I did give it 3 stars. With that being said, I then transitioned. I put everything I was reading on hold and I hunkered down and I finished one of my most anticipated reads. I started in January. I did not finish it until February because I was trying my damnedest to make it last. It did not work. I finished it in February. We have Onyx Storm. This is again just the UK paperback. I love this book so much. I loved it. I have questions. I have thoughts. Riddick is slowly becoming one of my favorite characters. I did not understand the hype for him before reading this book, but now that I've read this book and I finished it, I fucking love Riddick. Like, he is one of my favorite characters. Xaden and Violet still are my first favorites. Taryn and Darna and Sigale, you know, like the dragons are still a favorite, but now Riddick is a contender for a favorite. I think he is hilarious. There were so many moments. Honest to God, one of my favorites. I kept the inside thoughts inside. Saying that doesn't really spoil anything. Another one of my favorites. taken out of context is gonna make no sense. But when he's like, I punch, hate, punch, sewing, punch, I was cracking up. I laughed so hard I cried both times. And then again when he was like, oh, y'all broke the table. I love Riddick, okay? This book was for the Riddick girlies, in my opinion. I think that's safe to say. Also, the ending. Miss Rebecca. You know that meme on TikTok where Klaus from the originals is running around, Rebecca!
Rebecca! Rebecca! You cannot hide from me, Rebecca!
Like, that's how I felt. Like, I just wanted to yell her name into the abyss. Like, ma'am, that's how you end it? And then we're not even getting the next book in for like another 2 years? I'm gonna lose my ever-loving mind. I read Onyx Storm. I don't want to say anything else because I might spoil or something, and I do not want to be that person. So, now, after reading Onyx Storm, I was like, I want something light and easy. And so I picked up a book I had no idea about. I read, let me see. Yes, these are in the right order. I read the Testing Trilogy by Jolie Charbonnet. I'm not saying that right. That is wrong. I do not know how to say this. I've had this trilogy on my TBR for, I want to say damn near 10 years. Almost. I want to say I think I bought it in 2015 or 2016. I bought it off Amazon. It was just in a little box set. It sounded really good at the time that I bought it. I do not know why it took me 10 years to read these. I say 10 years because I'm pretty sure I bought them in 2025. Or what? No. I didn't buy them in 2025. I read them in 2025. I'm pretty sure it was like right before I graduated or right after I graduated high school, because I graduated in 2015. God, my 10-year reunion's coming up. That's crazy. But I'm pretty sure I bought these right before the end of high school or right after the end of high school. The first one is The Testing. I gave The Testing 4.25 stars. I gave Independent Study, which is book 2, 4.5 stars. And then I gave book 3, which is Graduation Day. I also gave it 4.5 stars. I don't know how to explain the series without spoilers. Basically, they have little districts, kind of sort of like Hunger Games. They have little districts and little cities. And each city is like known for something, or like more well off than others. Some of the kids get picked from each city or each district or each division, whatever you want to call it, and they go into like a testing, and those people usually become like the leaders, become like doctors, become scientists, become like, I'm trying to think of like other, like they take like the higher ranking societal roles usually, like the people who go to the testing and survive the testing and like, you know, graduate through whatever is after the testing. The main character's dad was actually in the testing, and he has like, he tells her he has like snippets of memory and like things that don't really make sense, but they take their memory away after the testing, so he didn't really know what to make sense of it, and he warned her like, oh hey, be aware. Well, we get through the testing, and then in Independent Study we also get her like, she's trying to remember. There's some things that happen. I won't say too much of what. I remember this one ended with a plot twist at the end, so I immediately went into book 3. I loved this trilogy. I don't know why it took me so long to read it. I have not seen anybody talk about it, so this will be for one that I fear I might not ever shut up about. So if you want like a quick, fun, easy to read YA series, this one. There's no spice, there's no smut. It's very YA. It was very good. I borrowed them off of Hoopla, and I read them all in like the same week. I loved this trilogy. Again, why did it take me so long to read it? I don't know. After I read that, I think I started this. Okay, so one of my best friends, she started a book club. I can talk to her and see if she will let me put the link for the Discord book club in my description. If not, I can put it in the comments maybe later on. For some reason, we thought it would be fun, a fun little idea. We picked contemporary, we voted. How we do it is she puts in like a poll. We vote on the not topic, the genre, and then we all give like 2 recommendations, and she puts all of the recommendations into a wheel, and the wheel picks for us. And I like that because it takes the indecisiveness out of the equation. Like whatever the wheel picks is our book for the month. The very first month was The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I gave this bitch 5 stars. It made me sob. The last, like, I think Megan told me she cried the last 50 pages, but the last, like, 40 to 45 pages, I was sobbing. I was a mess. I think I might need therapy from it. I'm not even a mother. I don't even have kids, and this book made me sob hysterically. I don't know how to talk about it without spoiling something. He is in the military. She is his best friend's brother. They start writing to each other. Something happens. It leads him to go back and meet her in person for the first time, except he lies about his identity. She has this whole thing about not lying to him, not lying to her. She doesn't like liars. That's like her one thing of not to do. She's a single mom of 2 twins. He has a dog. I just love this book. I loved it. I loved it so much, but I fear I will never be able to reread it because of the ending. Like, it was so freaking good, but also like emotionally devastating, you know? If you want a good cry, The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, 100% recommend. I cannot recommend it enough. I loved it. I just know myself, I can never reread it, if that makes sense. That probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but that's how I feel. And then, now time for the series. Yes, series I reread. I finished all of these in like a day each, I think, so probably about a week to read these. It is the Kit Davenport series by Tate James. I want to read all of Tate James's books this year. So, and then there's like a little novella. I'm including the novella because even though I didn't put it on my wrap up on Instagram, the novella is included in the audiobook and I listened to them while I was working, so I'm gonna throw it in on here. We have all of the books. I gave them all 5 stars, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yes. I forgot a book. Okay, hold on. I'll grab that in a second. But I did read the entire Kit Davenport series. I will go through these one by one because that's hard to hold up. So we have book 1, which is The Vixen's Lead. I don't know how to talk about the series without spoiling anything, so I'm just not going to. We have 2, which is Dragon's Wing. It is a paranormal shifter-ish, I choose. The spice in some of these books, so good. I loved it. Kit is one of my favorite book characters. We have The Tiger's Ambush is book 3. The Viper's Nest is book 4. Oh, hey, it matches my shirt kind of because it's green and it's green. Yeah. Book 5 is The Crow's Murder. And then book 6 is The Alpha's Pack. Now, I think of these, oh God, I have so many favorite guys. Like, there's 6 guys to choose from. Like, how do you pick a favorite? I think, honest to God, I think the twins would be my favorite. If I had, like, a gun to my head, I had to choose, I think Caleb and Austin would be my favorites. And when you meet them, they're brooding assholes. And so you're like, these are your favorites? Really? But they grow on you. I love them so much. But I also love Wesley. And, like, I love Cole. And I love Valley. And I love River. Like, I love them all. Like, it is such a good series. And then we have the novella, which is the Hellbound's Legion, I believe. I cannot recommend Kit Davenport enough. Obviously, from the shelves right here, I am obsessed with Tate James. She's one of my favorite authors. I cannot get over her books. I will rave about them until the end of time. I have not read them all. That is why I want to read them all this year. In March, be prepared. You're going to see, I'm going to have the reread for all of the Shadow Grove worlds. So be prepared for that. I'll give you a spoiler. 97% of them were 5 stars. I think I gave all of them but 1 star. Were 5 stars. Like, all of these right here were all but 1 were 5 stars. I love the Shadow Grove world. Kit Davenport is my second favorite series by Tate James. My first is Hades. Hades has just got a special place in my heart. Now for the book that I forgot to grab. Give me just a second. Oh, my foot is asleep. Oh, this is not a good feeling. Oh no, my foot's asleep. Okay. I also read in the month of January. No, in the month of February, I also read, oh, my toesies are tingling. I do not like that feeling. I also read The Charlie Effect, which is book 3 in, what is it? The Campus Diaries. That's what it's called. This is a threesome. I was not expecting that from Mel Kennedy. I will say, I think, what did I give this book? I don't even know what I rated it. Give me 1 second. I gave it 4.75 stars. It was a close favorite. It almost beat the Graham Effect, which is book 1 in the series. Honest to God, I liked the Graham Effect more than I liked The Deal, which is the off-campus series. I did not think that was ever going to happen. Charlie Effect almost beat it, but there's just something about the Graham Effect that was better for me. I liked Charlie. I liked, what were their names? Will and Beckett. I loved them. And also, one of them has an Australian accent, so when you listen to the audiobook, chef's kiss. I absolutely loved it. And that's all I read in January and in Why do I keep wanting to say January and March? That is not how the months go. It's January, February, March. I'm 28 years old. I should know the order of the months. Oh my gosh. My brain's just scattered. It's fine. It happens. It's all fine and dandy. Now, I have to go put all of these books up. But I will say, I think I'm going to try to get better about doing wrap-ups for BookTube. Now, question. Do you guys prefer 2 months at a time, or would you prefer me do like 1 month? Like, so just do March next and then do April and then, you know, like one at a time? Or would you prefer that I do, why is my brain spacing? Oh, like 2 at a time. So like my next wrap up would be March and April. So I wouldn't film it until May. Or you guys just like 1 at a time? I'm only doing 2 at a time because 1, January was a really short month for me. And then also 2, because I'm so far behind, I'm trying to catch up. But if you guys prefer me to do 1 month, I'll do 1 month going forward. If you like the 2 months, I will do that going forward. However, just keep in mind, January is a very short month for me. I usually read anywhere between 15 to 20 something books in a month because I can listen to audiobooks while I'm working. Excuse me. So I listen to a lot of books. I also listen anywhere between 1.75 and 2.75 depending on the narrators and depending on the book. If it's a book I've read and I can just listen to while I'm working, I listen to it a little faster. If it's a book that I've never read before and I need to pay a little bit more attention while I'm working, I listen to it a little slower. So it all will depend on my mood, my reading order, or my reading speed, the narrators, if I read it or not, what I'm doing for work, like depending on what I'm doing specifically, like what state I'm working in or what I'm working on will depend on how closely I can pay attention. Like there's just a lot of factors that go into the audiobooks. So like I think in April I read 24 books. Or how did I do that? It is not April's not over yet. But in April like I've already read 6 books. 6 or 7 books. And I'm gonna read another 3 minimum at least because I'm rereading Hunger Games and I'm already on book 3. Like I have books that I've read. So would you guys like the longer videos of me doing 2 months at a time? Or do you just want me to do 1? Y'all let me know. I will adjust accordingly. I'm here for you. Yes, I want to make content that I like, but I also want y'all to want to watch it. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I hope everybody's having an amazing month. I hope you had a good beginning part of the year. If you're reading, what are you reading? What's been your favorite read so far this year? I'm trying to think of other closing questions I could ask. What is your most anticipated read for, I guess go ahead and say for April, even though these are March. This is not March. This is February and January's reading wrap up. What's your most anticipated read for April, or what's been your favorite read so far when you watch this? Y'all let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and go edit this. You guys have an amazing rest of your night, day, morning, week, weekend, month, year, whatever you want to call it. Bye.